This episode of the Cloud Accounting Podcast is sponsored by Bill.com. As a listener, you've probably heard Blake and I speak about Bill.com on numerous occasions. It feels like they're discussed monthly in either new news or new announcements. But I'm betting there are some things you don't know about Bill.com. Did you know? Customers use Bill.com platform to process over $70 billion in payments for the 2019 fiscal year, that they partner with several of the largest U.S. financial institutions like Bank of America, PNC, and Chase. More than 70 of the top 100 U.S. accounting firms use Bill.com. Bill.com not only connects to all the popular accounting software providers, they also connect to many of your favorite apps as well. To learn more about how Bill.com's AI-enabled financial software platform creates connections between businesses and helps manage cash inflows and outflows, head over to cloudaccountingpodcast.promo/Bill. That is cloudaccountingpodcast.promo/BILL.
So on a given day, we're able to pull up a project. If we receive $2,000, we're seeing exactly how we spent the $2,000.
Welcome to the Cloud Accounting Podcast. I'm Blake Oliver.
I'm David Leary.
And I'm Alliah. I'm the Director of Accounting and Financial Operations at DonorsChoose.org. DonorsChoose.org is a leading platform for supporting public school teachers and students throughout the United States. Teachers come to our site and post projects, requesting materials that their students need, and donors donate to projects that inspire them.
Great. So we're here at day 2 of Sage Intacct Advantage. Day 2 of us recording, I guess, would be the better way to say this.
We are recording live in the rotunda of the MGM Grand with the big Sage Intacct Advantage electronic billboard over to the side here.
We even have a listener standing by watching us record.
We've got one fan watching us record this episode live. I am really excited to be talking to you, Alliah. I didn't catch your full name.
Alliah Mohamed.
Alliah Mohamed, and
Yes.
You're with DonorsChoose.org. And I am so excited to be talking to you because not only are you a customer, but potentially my brother could be in need of DonorsChoose. He's a public school teacher in Manhattan.
Yes.
And so you were telling me at one of the events when we connected about, well, like how does it work how would it work for him if I wanted to help him?
Yeah, so just point him to DonorsChoose.org. He comes to our site, and then we verify that he's a teacher, and then he goes shopping, creates a project.
And so then people donate money to support him, like for supplies and stuff like that?
Yeah, so let's say he wanted to take his students to a field trip.
Yeah.
He'll come to our site, write a little essay explaining what he wants to do with his students. He goes shopping for the experience, and then donors see exactly where their donation is being applied to.
Got it.
So obviously you're a nonprofit, and you being the accountant at the nonprofit, there's got to be challenges, and I think I've just heard a couple. So a lot of nonprofits have multiple funds, but if you're doing this for every teacher across the nation, or is this global?
No, United States.
Okay, so across the United States, and then if every teacher creates a trip or a project, something for their school, that's an individual fund, and then you have those donors. Like you got to be tracking thousands and thousands and thousands of funds.
Yes.
Like, how do you do that?
Yeah, so we use Sage Intacct to help us with the financials. So when someone is coming to our site and they're donating to a project, we're tagging exactly at a project ID level, and then we're tracking expenses at that PID level. So on a given day, we're able to pull up a project. If we receive $2,000, we're seeing exactly how we spent the $2,000.
Wow. So you must have thousands and thousands of project IDs.
Yes.
And so these are all using the dimensions in Intacct? Is that how it's tracked?
Yes.
Got it. And so the website must be integrated then with like those dimensions to create those project IDs in the software?
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's really cool. How did you... I mean, I know you're not necessarily like an IT technical person, but like how did you guys go about doing that work to automate that?
Yeah, so we have a product and engineering team because we're a web-based platform, and so we've worked closely with our CTO and his engineers to build that for us.
Got it. So you built the integration in-house from your website to Intacct.
Yes.
And how long have you been customers of Intacct?
6 years now.
6 years. Wow. So pretty. I mean, I know Intacct has grown a lot, but you must have been one of the. I guess Intacct's been around for 20 years.
Yes.
But there's a lot of growth, like starting 6 years ago. So
exactly.
You guys jumped on that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So was there a time when we were taking website donations and you weren't using Intacct? How did you track it then? Or has it been since day one?
We were tracking stuff offline. So we store all that data also in our platform on our admin site, quote unquote. So we were extracting that data and then manually uploading it to our financial system.
Efficient.
That must have been a lot of work.
Yes.
And how long have you been at DonorsChoose?
6.5 years.
Okay, so you were there. I mean, you came on board, and then you guys switched over to.
So.
What were you using before? If I
we
may
were
ask?
using a Financial Edge, which is a non-for-profit cloud-based, not cloud-based actually.
Not cloud-based accounting system. Okay, gotcha. So you came on board, and then were you part of this changeover, or?
No, I actually helped with some of the import templates to get our data into the system, but I was actually on the team part-time. So I was not the one who decided to implement Intacct.
This episode of the Cloud Accounting Podcast is sponsored by TeamPay. Wouldn't it be great if you had a way to automatically enforce spend policies and gain full transparency into requests for funds, all the way to reconciliation? And what if you could do that while empowering your employees to buy what they need when they need it? TeamPay gives total control and real-time visibility into spending. TeamPay's distributed spend management platform automates the purchasing workflow and gives you proactive controls and real-time visibility over company spend. And TeamPay also empowers your employees with a user-friendly purchasing experience. When employees make a request, TeamPay automatically enforces policies, issues intelligent payments, and automatically sends the transaction data to your accounting system pre-coded. To learn more about how TeamPay modernizes how you manage spending, head over to cloudaccountingpodcast.promo/TeamPay. That is cloudaccountingpodcast.promo/TEAMPAY.
Is this your first time at Intacct Advantage, or have you come before?
No, this is actually my 6th time at Intacct Advantage.
And what brings you here every
over and
year?
over?
Yeah,
I think it's something unique where you're able to learn things that you wouldn't otherwise know when you're just sitting at the office. It's good to talk to people and hear how they're using the product, and then you can take that back home and you can be like, wow, I'm really inspired the way this company is doing X. I think we can do something similar or learn from that and take some ideas.
So do you follow that not-for-profit track that they have here at
I do.
Intacct? Okay.
I do, and then I also do the one specifically for finance leaders. Those are really good too, to hear how other people are running their company. And
so one of the key features of Intacct that I find fascinating is the ability for a controller or a CFO or VP finance to integrate potentially dozens of applications with Intacct, that open API. Do you mind if I ask what you are using as part of your accounting and finance tech stack?
Yeah, so we have a custom integration that I'm really proud of that we launched maybe 6 months ago. It's a custom integration between our Citibank environment and Sage Intacct. So on a daily basis, we're able to see all our daily transactions populate automatically via journal entry.
So you've built an automatic bank feed.
I was just going to say bank
Yes.
feeds. Sounds like bank feeds.
Wow.
Yes.
And you did that yourselves?
We paid a consultant to
Right, but it's
help
like
us.
you own that
Yes,
integration?
exactly.
Wow. You could probably sell that. I'm sure some other Citibank customers will be interested.
We joked that basically they took our idea and created bank feeds.
Oh, right. So when did you build this?
We started the process 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but what you're doing is you're posting those entries from the bank already. Is it already coded to
Yes.
the correct
So
accounts?
we have a table that we are maintaining. So let's say this specific vendor is coded to a specific jail account. We have a table where it's pulling that from, and we're updating that table set. But
So you created rules.
Yes.
So, okay.
Oh,
So
wow.
we had a
So this
discussion about this earlier.
We were talking with Matt Paff, who's an analyst from Australia,
Yeah.
where everybody has that feature, functionality built into their accounting software.
Yes.
They're in the cloud. They're used to it, right?
Yeah.
And because Intacct doesn't, right, that's a big sticking point for him. So, you guys must have been, you felt this pain point and you just decided to go out and solve it yourselves?
yes.
That's interesting because, obviously you're a web-based, not-for-profit. You've got a ton of technical expertise to just go out and be able to conquer these problems for yourselves. That's really neat because, I don't know. Maybe this is the stereotype of not-for-profits. You don't think about them being necessarily the most innovative companies.
Yeah,
So
we're very tech forward.
that's great.
Yeah.
And so how many people are on your accounting finance team?
We're a 6-person team, including the CFO.
And how large is DonorsChoose in whatever metrics you guys like to track?
Yeah, so on a yearly basis, I would say we're about 175 million in revenue.
Okay, so 6 people, 175 million in revenue. That's pretty good, right? Like in terms of you guys are on the very low end, I'd say.
We're mean and lean. When I started the company 6.5 years ago, our team was just five people. We're just grown by 1 headcount in 6.5 years.
But DonorsChoose is growing, obviously, during that time.
Exactly.
And so it's probably a testament to your use of technology and automation and building out tools to move data around.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about before we get going?
No, I was going to ask you one question. So with the bank feeds,
Yes.
right? Or we're calling you created bank feeds,
yes.
right? Let's say. Have you documented that or blogged about that, or is that a session you're doing? Have you taught any of your community here at Intacct?
Yeah.
That put you on the spot.
Yeah,
We'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah, so I actually run our user group in New York City, and on a quarterly basis, customers come together and just talk about how they're using the system and share best practices. And I actually demoed how we're using it, and everyone was like, "Wow! How did you get the resources to do that?" Which, for a nonprofit, I'm really grateful that we get the resources to do those things.
Yeah, that's really exciting. I would encourage you to do a session next year on how just that feature, right? Like how you built that.
Yeah.
The no excuses, because you guys are a nonprofit and you were able to pull this off versus all these companies that have tons of money and they have big budgets to work from and they can't pull it off.
Yeah.
So congratulations and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank
Alliah.
you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And what's the easiest way for people to get a hold of you if they want to come to your meetup group or something?
Yeah, my email address is alliah@donorschoose.org.
Thanks a lot.
Yes, thank
Bye.
you.